Welcome back, bourbon fans, to part 2 of my all-time bourbon recommendation list. This is the high proof bourbon, so anything over 100 proof falls into this category. And we got the same price breakdown as before, $10 to $30, 30 to 50, 50 to 75, and 75 plus. A lot of these bourbons you'll find fall into the higher priced range simply because when you're talking about full proof or higher proof bourbon, there's going to be less of it out of the barrel and it's going to cost more. Starting with the $10 to $30 range, we got Benchmark Full Proof. Now this is a bourbon out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Comes in at 125 proof, about 25 bucks. Surprisingly good for the price. Really amazing. Probably the cheapest bourbon at that proof that's actually really good to drink. As I was coming up with this list, I was surprised to find that I didn't have really anything for the $30 to $50 range. So I'm just going to move right on to the $50 to $75 range. Right off the bat, we got to mention Wild Turkey Rare Breed. What would this list be if I didn't even have that on there? Right? Quintessential bourbon. Rich, creamy caramel and vanilla. Just the epitome of classic high proof bourbon. Another classic is Old Forester 1920. There seems to be a battle going on between 1910 and 1920. One is lower proof, one's high proof. To me, it comes down to, do you like lower proof bourbons or do you like higher proof? I love higher proof and I love the 1920. It's got more of the rich cherry, caramel, chocolate, sweet oak notes to it. Really love it. Now here's one that's not technically a bourbon, but it definitely deserves to be on this list, and that is Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Tennessee Whiskey. These range anywhere from mid 120s up over 130 proof. Really tasty, easy to drink for the proof. Try one. Probably my all-time favorite wheated bourbon, Maker's Mark 46 cask strength. Now with these bourbons, I'm trying to pick ones that are readily available. Not all of these are going to be easily obtained. Most of them should be obtainable. Some of them are more limited, which I'll mention. This one is not a limited release per se, but it's a seasonal release. So it's more readily available at the end of the year. At that time, you can find it sitting on the shelves, at least around me, it's sitting on the shelves all over the place. This time of the year in May, it's really hard to find. Either way, best wheated bourbon, it's simply delicious. Baker's 7-year single barrel. So this is a 7-year plus 107 proof bourbon from Jim Beam. Got those classic Jim Beam notes, caramel, vanilla, a little bit of nuttiness in there, but it's really good. Very easy to drink. Does not seem like it drinks at the proof. It drinks lower. It's very tasty. Old Dominick has their own bourbon now. They've got a cask strength. Retails for about 70 bucks. Again, it's not widely distributed about across the whole United States, but the states that it's in, look for it. Grab it. Caramel, tobacco, leathery notes to it. Really nice. It is available online as well. You can check their website. Back to another classic, Knob Creek Single Barrel Select. So this is their 9-year, but it's at 120 proof instead of just 100. Those extra proof points really ramp up the flavors to a whole nother level. Here's another one that I think often goes overlooked. Four Roses Small Batch Select. So this is the 104 proof expression. It's several steps above the single barrel and the regular small batch. Extra richness and depth and complexity to the flavor profile. You don't want to miss this. Here's one that is definitely more of a limited release. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Historically, it's been a little harder to get. Now lately, Heaven Hill seems to be just releasing the floodgates of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. A124 is still sitting on the shelves all over the place near me. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is kind of like Booker's. Even the worst batch is still good bourbon. So don't worry about whether or not it's going to be good bourbon. Some are just great and others are just good. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. So here's one that used to be really hard to get when it first came out. Very sought after, highly desired. And now it's become a lot more widely distributed, which is awesome because it's very tasty. It does vary some batch to batch, but it is really great stuff. Last but not least, out of Kansas City, Missouri area, Ben Holiday Soft Red Wheat Rickhouse Proof. You find that Ben Holiday uses some unique terms for their bourbons. Rickhouse proof, cask strength, barrel proof, same thing. The wheat adds a really nice, soft, gentle mouthfeel, as well as some sweetness. And then the proof point helps make it rich and robust for a really amazing pour. Now onto the $75+ category. Right off the bat, Barrel Dovetail. This is one that's still pretty widely available on the shelves. You shouldn't have to hunt too hard for it. Booker's. This one is hard to find. It's not just going to be sitting on the shelves. You got to know when it's dropping. Pay attention to my videos for that information. And then you got to be quick to act on it because it's going to go fast. But Booker's is great stuff. Just like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Even the worst Booker's is still great bourbon. Some are just exceptional. Blackened Wes Henderson edition. So this one is supposed to be a limited release, but I continue to see this sitting on the shelves all over the place. Retails for about 95 bucks. I just finished my bottle of this and it was surprisingly delicious. Creamy and fruity on the flavor. Excellent stuff. Last but certainly not least, a little bit harder to find as well, Four Roses Single Barrel Barrel Proof. Now these have recently gone up in price. They used to be more around 80 bucks-ish. Now I've seen them up as high as 125. But if you can find them for about 100 bucks, solid buy. 125 is pushing it to me. I guess it depends on the recipe. I haven't tried all the recipes, but it's Four Roses juice and it's going to be amazing. So there you have it. As I continue to try new bourbons, I will let you know if there's any new additions to these lists of recommended whiskeys. What's your favorite high proof bourbon? Anything I missed that you think I should put on this list? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, cheers.